Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of the Marquie Money Talks YouTube channel. On this channel, we discuss finance, credit card, investing, and building long-term wealth, and also things like LLCs and building businesses, business strategies, and different things like that. Today, what I want to talk about is an investment platform that I use. The thing about investing is the sooner you can get into something, the more beneficial it will be if it proves to be useful in the future. And I mean, just imagine if you were able to get into a company like Amazon or Google or Apple or Microsoft when they first launched, or actually before they launched, like before they started getting financing from banks and stuff like that, how wealthy you could be. I remember my first investment that I was aiming to make was in Google. When Google first hit the market, it opened up the market at about $50 a share. And it went from $50 a share to $500 a share in less than 2 weeks. At the time, I saved up $300 to put into my investment account. And what I didn't know then is that if I wrote them a check, I would have to wait a week for the check to clear to put into my account. But if I gave them a money order, then, excuse me, it's allergy season. If I gave them a money order, then the money would be in my account immediately. So I missed out on the opportunity to get 5 shares of Google. And that $300 investment would have made me about $2,500 and say $50 in less than 2 weeks. And there are opportunities like that every day when it comes to investing. But when you're not trained to think as an investor, or you don't have the thought process of an investor, you miss out on those opportunities every day. Because, I mean, you think about it, a lot of us work for companies whose wealth is built off of us, but they just took advantage of opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. And so shifting that mentality and going into an investor's mentality and building wealth is something that can help you with that. And what I found was I found this company called Start Engine. And what Start Engine is, it serves 2 purposes. One purpose is to help businesses get funding outside of like typical avenues like banks and stuff like that. And it also gives investors a chance to get involved with companies before they become public and before they, basically blow up or get any funding from banks and stuff. So you have the first opportunity to get in on a lot of these companies. And I've taken advantage of those opportunities, and they're not expensive. They got companies that you can get into for as little as $150, all the way up to thousands of dollars. It just depends on, what you're willing to invest. I took a look at, where we're headed, and I started investing in some EV companies. I've invested in some social media platforms. I invested in some wine companies and some alcohol companies. I've invested in some RV companies, all through this Start Engine platforms. I invested in a private plane company that allows you to use an app to book a private plane. And so those are my long-term investments that I just sit and I just forget about. I put the money over there and I don't even think about it anymore. I just go back from time to time just to see the status of my investment and to see what the companies are doing. Because one thing I always tell people is when you're investing, always keep track of your investments. Because just like you need to know when to put the money in, you also need to know when to take the money out. But if you're never watching your investments, then you can lose out on opportunities. I remember seeing a friend, invest some money in some things that we were investing in some stocks. And the stock went way up. And because they wasn't paying attention to what was going on, before they realized it, the stock immediately crashed. But that's the danger of not keeping track of your investments, because you got to remember that your goal is to build and not destroy. So you want to keep track of what the companies are doing. You want to look at all the news for the companies that you're investing in, especially those long-term investments, because, that fall could be two opportunities. It could be an opportunity to pull out while you're up, or it can be an opportunity to get more while they're down. So, you have to watch for that. Like, we had some opportunities come up this year where companies had what they call reverse stock splits. And with reverse stock splits, the companies lowered the price of their stock to make it more attractive to new investors. And I think Tesla had a stock split, reverse stock split. Apple had a reverse stock split. Amazon had a reverse stock split. So those were opportunities to get back into those stocks at a lower price, which can give you a higher profit margin later on. So we really have to, focus on our long-term and our short-term goals when it comes to investing. I always tell people, have a plan. I have a plan for all of my investments. I have some investments that I'm in for the long haul that I'm expecting to pay off in anywhere between 2 to maybe 10 years. I have other investments that I expect to pay off, take care of me when I retire and no longer work. And then I have other investments where I'm just trying to make a quick flip and double or triple my money within a few weeks or a few months. And there are several ways to do that. I talked about it in my investment podcast, the Making It Make Sense podcast on Spotify. It's Making It Make Sense podcast with Marquie Jacobs. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description. And also I'll leave the link to some other investment platforms that you can use if you're interested in investing in the stock market. I'm going to be doing some videos soon on the stock market and different stocks that I'm investing in, and stocks that I think are good for the future. Some of the things I've learned about investing in stocks since I've been investing, because I have been investing probably since about maybe 2004. I first got interested in investing when I was talking to a guy that I used to catch the bus with. And he was always reading the stock page, the business page, and with all the stock symbols. And his father was a stock investor, but he didn't really want to work for his father's company, but he still liked investing. So what he did was use the credit card strategy, and he got approved for these credit cards with these high limits, and used those to get cash and put that cash in his investment accounts. And he started, hitting licks on different stocks and building his money up and paying the cards back off, and then taking the money back off the cards and putting them in the stock market and just building and building and building. And he told me one day while we were on the bus, he was like, if this next deal goes through, then I'm probably going to be quitting my job and moving to New York City so I can be closer to the action. He was talking about the stock market and stuff. And so I ended up not seeing him anymore after that. And he was so excited about having somebody that took an interest in investing, that he could talk to about investing, that he just started giving me money just for listening to him. And after I no longer heard from him, I became interested in stocks, because I was like, I want to be able to just disappear too. And so I started, learning about the market and educating myself. I tell people all the time, a good book to read if you want to learn how to invest, if you've never invested before, is a book called Day Trading for Dummies. And out of the 9 or 10 books that I've read on just stock investing, though that one right there is the one that was so simple and so easy to understand that even a child could read that book and understand how to make money off the stock market. And then the stock market is forever changing, and it's forever something we can, learn from or keep learning. And even though I've been investing, for the time period that I have, I still find myself learning new things all the time. So I think that's going to be all I'm going to cover today. But take a look at Start Engine, do your research, look on YouTube, and look at some of the companies they have. I believe it's free to set up an account. So set up you an account and look it over, and they have some real good people involved over there. Kevin O'Leary is one of the main ones. You probably recognize him from Shark Tank. And I can't remember the other two guys' names that I seen that were the original founders, but I know they brought Kevin O'Leary in as kind of like their marketing guy to kind of push the brand out there. And if you know his resume, he's pretty good at what he do, and he makes some rock solid investments. I think his first major company he built up and ended up selling for like $4 billion. So he's a guy that came from the mud and built it from the ground up, didn't have anything handed to him. I think he has a beautiful story when it comes to investing. So you should look him up on YouTube and just listen to his story, because hearing things like that also motivates me to, work hard at what I do as far as in investing in wealth building, because it has truly changed my life for the better. I've been enjoying a slight piece of financial freedom, but I want the whole pie. I want that big piece to where I'm no longer working for my money. My money is just constantly working for me on a daily, monthly, weekly basis, to the point to where if I just don't want to go to work again for the rest of my life, I have the freedom to do that. My children are grown now, so I'm looking forward to traveling the world and gaining some new experiences and meeting some different people around the planet. This is a big, beautiful planet, and there's a lot of things to see. So I got my passport, and I'm preparing to go do that now. So once again, I want to thank my 30 subscribers for subscribing to the channel and becoming a part of what I'm trying to build, which is a resource and a tool that can be used to help you get financial freedom and build wealth for your family and for the life that you want to live in the future. And I say this all the time, that the choices we make now is going to decide how we're going to live in the future. And I'm actually living that right now, because it was the choices I made to become an entrepreneur and a business owner almost 5 years ago that's allowing me the type of freedom that I have now to be able to, have my own business, have a successful business, start other businesses, and start building some things that can ultimately give me, full control and full freedom over my life to live how I want to live it. So everybody be safe out there. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday and have a great day.